Hello everyone, this is the Super Wig Maker, and today I'm making a video to talk about a custom order that I have. So this is the hair that I'm gonna be using, and it's still a little wet because I just washed it to see the real pattern, and I'm pretty satisfied with it. She said that she wants the piece to be about 16 inches long. Of course, this means that it has to be stretched 16 inches. This is longer than 16 inches, of course, but I'm going to I'm gonna fold the hair so it's gonna lose a little bit of length, and I'm gonna also use amazing hairstyle lace. So I straightened the hair, and you can actually see that it's fluffing up a little bit because it has a yucky texture. It's super long this way, and let me just see how long it is. Well, I could say about 20 inches, which is good for what I want. I want this to be 18 inches long once I finish, so it's good that I have some extra. Now I have a lot of fillers in here, you can see that, and I cannot use them, so I will have to take strands that are longer than this. For example, I don't want these really short ones. I'm not discarding them, but I'm not going to be using them for this purpose. So let's just see. So I have taken out anything that was longer than 30 centimeters approximately. So it's all this hair, and it's not all the bundle. I still have a lot of hair, but I don't want to cut all the weft and then end up not having what to do with that. So I will work with this hair first, and when it's over I will proceed to do the same procedure again. And the shortest strands, whatever was shorter than, like, I don't know, like 15 centimeter or about 6 inches, I discarded it, and I kept everything that is up to 30 centimeters. Okay, here's what I'm gonna be whispering now because everyone is sleeping, and I forgot to tell you that I have taken out, this is the short strands that I extracted from the big bundle, and then I took it and bleached it. I have used 20-volt developer and just a normal bleach, and I put in this little container, then I spreaded it in the hair, and 20 minutes later you can see that the hair is uniformly bleached. I don't see any strand that is not bleached, literally. It's uniform, and the color that it leaves it is like many shades, as you can see. It's orange, of course, because this is black hair, but it is virgin hair. This is the proof to that. Now about the wig cap, I think you can see that I used the Korean lace in skin tone, and I have marked, she actually requested this to be 5 inches deep from the hairline. It's 5 inches deep, and ear to ear she said something about 13.5 inches, which is 13.5 inches, which is a big head. So since she didn't send me her head mold, I had to use mine because my measurements are kind of like that, and I have already put thread so as to remember the lining, because I plan to remove this, and then I'm going to put this ribbon in the back. It was actually that ribbon, which is white, and it has a lot of you can see that in the seams that the color is not the same. So what I did, just keep it like that, is that I used the eye dye poly in brown, the one that I used to dye the synthetic hair in my previous video, and then I submerged a long enough piece of this ribbon, and this is how it turned. You can see now that it's practically identical. I wouldn't mind if it wasn't, but it's better than just the typical white. It doesn't make such a huge contrast now. And let me just put this over here. What I'm gonna do for hair convenience is that I'm gonna take this ribbon and place it all the way in the perimeter like that. And I think I'm gonna do this with a sewing machine. Yeah, I've got a little bit of extra here anyway. And then I'm gonna make a small fold as well, so when she tries to sew this on her head, it's gonna be so strong and so sturdy because it's gonna have like two layers of lace and a ribbon inside, which is like more rigid, you know, it's more solid than the lace. So it's gonna be so much better for her to be able to bulky stitch this thing and have absolutely no problem. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to sew in this, and then I'm gonna have to remove it and then put a backing in the piece in order to be able to ventilate. Or maybe I should keep it like that because the hair is black. Anyway, we will see what I'm gonna do. And I did it, and as you can see, it's kind of symmetrical. I decided, instead of having like one huge seam in every side, to have multiple smaller ones. So as you can see, this is the front hairline. Every seam ends like really back enough, like almost an inch or an inch and a half or even 2 inches further back from the hairline. This is very important when you're gonna be wearing this. The seams are gonna be very back, and at this point we don't really care that much. And I have also put the ribbon, as I said, and this is the stitched part. Is it visible? Let me just... I think it's visible. So yeah, it's... let me just... I hate the zoom in this camera. Okay, so I'm pretty ready. I didn't cut off this part. I will cut it later, and I'm gonna remove the thread and cut this. Except actually, I'm not gonna cut it. I'm gonna leave it on so she can cut the way she wants it. But the back is already finished. The reason that I put the ribbon, as I said, is because right now it's so much stronger and sturdier. It's one lace, a ribbon, and then the lace engulfs the ribbon. So you see that it's folded. It's like 3 layers of material here that we have, and the ribbon is super strong, so it's gonna be like the best base for her to sew in the back of her head. So I'm gonna start ventilating, and I'm gonna come back to you to show you exactly how this turned out. So I finally finished that. I just removed all the strings except this back one that I'm gonna remove in a moment. I mean, it's not even visible, but I will remove it because that doesn't need to be there. And I can say that I'm satisfied with the outcome. The only thing I have to say is that, first of all, let me just find... this is the hair that I discarded because it was too short. Let me just take it out of the package. Once again, a lot of hair being wasted. Like, this is almost like half the weft. And actually there are a lot of more strands that I literally threw away. The ends are thick enough. You can see that the braids don't get too much thinner. And yeah, I'm satisfied with it, and I pretty much managed to make like pretty much half a unit here, almost half, 1/3 of a unit with just one bundle. So I'm a trooper, and this reminds me to, whenever I get hair from now on, or whenever you send me hair, you better send me either extremely longer hair than what you want it to be, so as to have enough long strands, or get double drawn hair. Now about this thing, only this front area, let me just take all these little braids frontwards. This is single strand, single knot, and the density to this one is slightly less. This whole area here from ear to ear to be 13 inches, and that's how it is. ear to ear from top, it should be about 13.5. It's pretty much, yeah, 13.5. And of course the front is about 5 inches. And the sides, the thinnest part in the sides is like about 1 inch. We said that the sides would be like 1 inch totally, so this would be like 1 inch as well, but it wouldn't work, so I decided to do it like that, like this side part in here, for example, is 3.5, this is like 4, and the top is like 5. So this is the typical way to make a lace frontal. And yeah, double strands per knot, single strands per knot. The hairline also is not my hairline, it's a little bit like my hairline. The hairline is drawn approximately from my hairline. The temples are not so wide, they're slightly inner because she's a woman. Of course, women have you know, shorter temples. The temples don't go too far back, of course, because she's not a man again. And what is good about her that she told me is that she can actually customize this the way she wants it to be. So I didn't create like a very identity hairline or too thin or anything. She can pluck out strands if she feels that this is like denser than what she requested, because if it's slightly heavier in density, you can always pluck some strands out and make your thing. If it's thinner than what you want it to be, there's nothing you can do about it. So I'm on the safe side here, but this is a fairly natural looking piece. You can actually part it everywhere. All of this is double strands per knot. It doesn't look that bad. Now what I have to do is to take out the braids, of course. I'm going to show you exactly how it looks this way. I'm going to heat seal the knots, and then I'm going to wet about 1 centimeter from the root in order to give this the natural curve pattern that it has, and show you once again exactly how it's gonna look. So I'm gonna take off the braids now, show you how it looks with the braids taken off, and then I'm gonna heat seal the knots, and then I'm gonna just curl it and show you how it looks. Okay, it's over. This is a strict middle parting, which doesn't have to be like that. This is how the hairline looks. And I'm gonna take the typical route of parting this everywhere, so you can see exactly how it looks in other parts. Yeah, I think I'm on frame. You can part it anywhere you want. See? And right now it's straightened, so it's not the real texture of the hair. Actually reminds me a little bit of that chemotherapy wig that I did, to be honest with you. And although it looked like really full, it's not so full. If you judge by the parting, for example, it looks super realistic, and in my opinion it might be a little thinner. This is what she requested, of course. And of course everything goes back to this area wherever you part it. Here I straightened the hair, but it's yucky because it's super curly naturally, so even straightened, look how much fluff it has, look. That's why it looks so full. And we reach the other end, and of course this is the edge, which is the ribbon. So let me just take it back to the middle, and I'm gonna make some vertical partings. It's difficult because I have to grab it, and you can see the difference between the double strands per knot and the single strands per knot. The single strands per knot have less density than the top part, but because this is, the hair is more grouped here, it might appear in the parting a little bit more, you know, wider or something. This is more spread, so it just kind of camouflages the whole base better. This is the difference between the two. So let me just take a vertical. No, that was not a good one. Let me just take one from here. You can see there's a small seam here, which is inevitable, of course. I'm gonna take one more from here and just grab it from a hole. There it is. Let me just see if I'm on frame. I'm satisfied with it. I hope the lady is also satisfied with that. The hairline, as I said, is feathered. You can see that. The hair fluffs up a lot. I'm going to wet the ends now because I don't want to wet the knots because they're gonna get like looser again. And I'm gonna show you, oops, how that looks. But let me just show you the hair when it's straightened, how full it looks. It's not that much. If you pinch it, it's not that much. So I actually forgot to show you the back, so I'm gonna take all the hair. This is how the back looks. That's actually a beautiful piece, I can say. The knots are not bleached. If she wants to bleach them, she can bleach them if she wants to. I don't know if it's necessary. Maybe in the hairline, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be too necessary. So this is the last part of the video, and I finally... She said that she wants it to be to turn into an afro. This hair could possibly turn into an afro. Of course, she's gonna need to have hair in the back to support all this, you know, because now it's just falling back. I think it's good. I think it's a wrap. I think it's ready to be used and shipped and whatever. Yeah. That's how it is. You can see how much the hair fluffed up. The ends are not extremely thick, but they are longer than what she expected them to be, so she will be able to cut it. The reason why I don't cut it is because why cut it? If she likes it the way it is, she can keep it. If she doesn't like it, she's just gonna cut it to the length that she requested, and it's gonna be just fine. If I brush this hair with brush, it just fluffs up a little more. Of course, I don't think that this hair is meant to be for afros. I mean, it's fluffy enough, but you know, it's not so coily. It's just curly hair, so it can fluff up, but I don't think it's afro enough. You can see that. Look at that curl pattern. Look at that defined curl over here. You can see that you already saw the curl pattern, but that's not afro-ish hair. Whatever the case is, she will be able to do whatever she wants with the hair. If she just teases it a little bit, it's gonna fluff up like that, and it's gonna be able to have. And if she has hair in the back that fluffs up, this is gonna fluff up as well. This is why I always say to everyone, if you want a human hair piece, you better send me the hair that you want. And this is just a frontal, so that means that in the back, she's gonna have to find hair that will work with this hair. If it's not the same, I don't know how it's gonna work. This is why I want everyone to be sending me the hair that they want to use, but what's done is done, and I'm pretty sure that this is a very good piece and she's gonna be satisfied. Yeah, I can just fluff it even more if I want to. Yeah, so Deborah, this is for you. Okay, so let me just show you. You have already seen the wig cap, how it's constructed, etc. This is how it looks against the skin. Let me just take an area that has no hair, because I have hairy arms. That's how it looks. These are all the sides. And if you have to part it somewhere, this is how it looks against skin. I don't know if I'm 100% on focus, but I think it's clear enough already, and everywhere it's exactly the same everywhere. See that? I hope it looks good.